Welcome to New Earth Activations with the Menorah. On Saturday, June 6th, or 6/6, I put out some activations, and right over the lake was a rainbow that I didn't even know was there until I was almost finished. Because I had recorded a few times, and I think on the last recording I noticed the rainbow. Then, when I was done, all the way back to where I'm staying was a rainbow. It was one after the other, after the other, after the other. And I've never seen that before. And so I kept having to pull over on the highway, or the freeway, whatever you want to call it, and try to record it. Excuse me. And I kept them on private. I didn't make it public because I don't really want to talk about that, but if you want to know, you can send me an email. Anyway, if you're ready, let's get into it. Have your glass of water next to you. If you're lying down, make sure your palms are up. If you're sitting down, make sure your feet are flat on the ground. If you're outside, excuse me, make sure you're barefoot. And if you like to do the activations with your eyes closed, you can do that. If you need to do it with your eyes open, you can do that too. If you fall asleep, that's okay too. So if you're ready, we can begin. Breathe that in. And when you're ready, come slowly back into your body. Drink plenty of water, have a shower, ground yourself, and spend lots of time in nature. It's best to do these sessions 3 to 7 times a day. The more you can remain in stillness while doing your activities, doing your errands, the better. It's important that your mind works for you, not for you to be a slave to your mind. If there's constant chatter, all the more reason to do these sessions even more. And the more time you get out in nature alone by yourself, the better. If you'd like me to do an energy reading, send me a photo. Please like, share, and subscribe. The more people that focus on their own alignment, their own vibration, the better. If you have anything you care to share, any comments, you can email me at orianadhabsburg@gmail.com. And before I go, I'd like to mention a few things. On earthjustice.org, the Alaskan Arctic is speaking to everyone on the face of this earth. It needs us to sign the petition to use our voice and say no to oil drilling in the Alaskan Arctic. Nature is speaking to you, the wildlife is speaking to you, the people that live there are speaking to you. If you don't say no to oil drilling in the Arctic, that's on you. Greenpeace.org. Protect the Amazon. The Amazon speaking to everyone on the face of this earth. The trees are talking to you. Everything that lives in the Amazon is talking to you. Protect it and keep it wild and free. If that petition is still there, please use your voice, use your signature, sign that petition to protect it forever. On IFAW, please, the whales of Iceland are speaking to all of us on the face of this earth. Say no to whaling in Iceland. Sign the petition, use your voice on IFAW. If not, that's on you. Say no to factory farming. I think that's on earthjustice.org. I'm not sure, but you have to find out. If you don't say no to factory farming, then I challenge you to go to where these animals are slaughtered, how they're living their lives, how they're treated before they're slaughtered, and you end up eating it. Not only that, I received some information about what certain wealthy people are injecting into the meat, and you're eating it. If you want to know who, you can email me. Also, we have a dumb president who doesn't really have much regard for animals. And I heard something about, I think there's something about 44 or whatever, which is something that is dangerous and can wipe out a bunch of animals. Now, I heard that somehow they stopped this, but he wants to bring it back. I have to get the information on it because it's the first time I'm hearing about it. But don't let him or his dumb minions kill any animals. And as far as those people who have lost their homes to war, when you see little children standing in front of what was their home and it's now destroyed, it's heartbreaking. Now, if all the religions around the world actually pulled their monies together, they could probably just wait a minute. There's people. I want to wait till they get out of the way. They came speeding down the street. Now they're just sitting there in the car like idiots. I'm sorry, but I just don't have patience for this kind of stupidity. Anyway, they could be a solution to the problem. When you think about how much monies they bring in, if we all just did what we could to protect this planet, protect its land, protect what's here, and just look out for each other. Then those of the dark would just have no power over anything. Also, I was thinking about things like corrupt organizations or corrupt corporations when they want to build their business and they go against the people of that area, and the people of that area say, no, we don't want it, we want to protect nature and keep the trees. And then that business wants to control the area, and they go to another town to get the permit so that they can build. And nothing is done to protect the people, but the corporation gets what they want. I'm tired of that. And especially if it's a corporation that all they do is just offer the same old, same old. Nothing new and better, just the same old crap that they've been doing in all the other areas where they have a business. I'm not for it. And then when you go to think about those that call themselves, give themselves a title of a leader or a president of an area, their title is a public servant, period. And you need to be doing what's in the best interest of the people and the land. Not for profit or money or your friends. When you tell me you're going to drain the swamp, well, you better get to it, or I'm going to remind you of what you said and ask you why it hasn't been accomplished. People drive down the street like idiots. Like they're gonna scare me away from what I'm doing. a lot going on. And I feel that once certain evil structures are dissolved, things will change. Starting in Washington, D.C. Statue of Liberty was never about freedom. They claim it is, but it really isn't. How they built that, or the way they built that, or the details about it, wasn't really to serve the highest good of all. And then, of course, the Vatican. Once I had talked with God about it, immediately afterwards, who shows up? But a certain billionaire that lives in Washington State that said he was going to release a tick. Isn't that interesting? Then today, that same billionaire showed up with another billionaire. And they showed what they were injecting to meat that you eat. If you eat meat. I don't eat meat, and I don't eat seafood. I do not eat suffering. If you want to know who they are, you can email me and I'll tell you who they are. Just because you're rich doesn't mean anything. You can't take it with you when you die. If you're spiritually dead, you have nothing, you have no power against me. Let me repeat that because somebody rude was just making noises. You have no power against me. I don't care how rich you are if you're spiritually dead. When does anyone with money have any spiritual power? When has it ever been written anywhere? It doesn't never happen that way. We all have a responsibility to care for this planet. At one point, the people who were first in this country, who call themselves the Native American Indians, if you remember, would pop up on TV with tears running down their face, saying, "Don't pollute. Protect the planet, care for the planet." And how many people you think on the face of this earth listened to their message and did so from the moment they seen that message? Her name is Mother Gaia. She's alive and well. What are you doing to keep her in pristine condition? Do you clean out the oceans? Do you clean up the garbage on the ground? Do you throw your garbage out? Do you compost? How much do you consume? Are you aware of what you're buying? Do you buy things that protect the trees and protect nature, or are you just oblivious? Every one of us on the face of this earth has a responsibility to this planet. It's not about clear cutting and business as usual. Because remember, what goes around comes around. If you're not protecting the trees and these companies clear cut at night to expand their business and you do nothing, that's on you. They clear cut and then they want to say there's an invasive species. No, that's a lie. Because I went up to confront those people who were doing so. And they told me that, and you know what they did after they clear cut? Because that was an area where the pollinators were feeding. They threw garbage on top of it. And then you see people who can barely speak any English, who were just getting paid to do a job, not really asking questions as to what exactly it is they're doing, or digging deep to make sure they have their facts and it's accurate as to what they're doing, as to when they put up these poles on the highways or the cameras. What exactly is that for? Not just some spoon-fed bullshit to ease your mind. What kind of research have you done to make sure you know what you're doing when you're getting paid to do something like that? Is it really to serve the highest good of all? And then you hear about these AI data centers that are causing so much havoc. And then you hear about 5G and 6G and what the heck that's doing to the environment, to the wildlife, and to people. But yet, if you don't use your voice to stop it, then what are you doing? Being controlled by it? Because if you're not standing up to it, then what happens? why don't you do your research and find out how many times in other countries 5G was sued. And then all those people that they, like around here, all they really do is push addictions on people. There's really nothing else much for people to do here. For me, that's a complete waste of money and time. If everybody went within, focused on their own alignment and vibration, there'd be no such thing as an addiction. When you start waking up, nothing and no one can stop it. And when I do my activations, I show myself for a minute and then I jump off. And plenty of times people have been sarcastic, mean, and wanted to make fun because I didn't really, at times, didn't look happy. I can't judge a book by its cover, nor can you take anything personal or think it's all about you. And it depends on which I'm recording from. And the one that I did on 6/6, the one I recorded from on that day, was awful. And it wasn't what I normally use, so I didn't really make that public. I didn't like it. And then people want to come at me for how I looked or if I didn't look happy that day. Well, when you judge and you assume, you only make an ass out of yourself. Because plenty of times people have done that to me and I've put them in their place. And then after seeing how many times they've been wrong, then they just shut up. I also wanted an end to human trafficking and the innocent protected, the babies and the children and the orphans. How many people you think on the face of this earth think about an orphan or do anything for them? Is it the stupid human way to look the other way when you know something's going on over here? And you have the means to do something and you don't? And you think God isn't watching? Watching what you do with your money? And then I get information about how some people are crying because they're not chosen. Oh, get real, please. You have the... To even say something like that to me is infuriating. It's so stupid. You have no idea what those people have lived through. It isn't easy by any means. And the weakest link will never be chosen. Neither are the very rich. Just seen lightning. Maybe I'm talking too much. I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not here to do that. I also think sarcasm on this planet should be put to rest permanently. I think that's a stupid human trick that they think they're getting over on people, but they're not. They just make themselves look hideous. That was a generation of I really didn't get anywhere. Sarcasm doesn't serve anyone's highest and best. And I'm not for it, and I never will be. There's a lot of things that I'm not for. And it may be cool for a while, but then when you keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, eventually there's going to come a point where I don't want it in my life. You're going to sit there and make fun at somebody else's expense to impress the people around you? I think I need to stop talking because I just saw another lightning. It's too much information. Like I said, I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings or anything, that would hurt anyone. I'm not here for that. But if we all think, if we all feel before we speak, feel at first what you're sending out and see if you like it, especially if you're sending it to a certain person or whatever. You don't know the life they're living. If you have any comments or anything you care to share, like I said, you can email me